Uh, Before we dive into the world of high-octane action and espionage, a friendly reminder, if you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. Thanks. As an action movie aficionado, I often find myself wondering what makes a great action franchise. Uh, is it the charismatic lead, the pulse-pounding action sequences, or the intricate plot twists? Um, for me, the Transporter franchise checks all these boxes and more. With a decade-long run and 5 films under its belt, the Transporter series has solidified its place as one of the most iconic action franchises of all time. The Transporter franchise kicked off in 2002 with the self-titled film introducing us to the inimitable Jason Statham as Frank Martin. This enigmatic character, a freelance underworld courier with a strict code, would go on to become a staple of the franchise, with a no-nonsense attitude and a penchant for getting out of sticky situations. Frank Martin quickly became a fan favorite. Uh, Jason Statham's meteoric rise to action stardom was beautifully catalyzed by the Transporter series. His performance in the original film set the tone for the rest of the franchise, with his hardened attitude and comedic relief providing a perfect balance of action and humor, and model. As Frank Martin, Statham delivered both charm and strength, catapulting the character to iconic status. However, not all Transporter films were created equal. The Transporter Refueled, released in 2015, attempted to reboot the series with Ed Screens taking on the lead role. Unfortunately, the film failed to make a lasting impression, with the absence of Jason Statham being a significant hurdle. While Screen showed promise as a lead, the film's action sequences were lackluster and the narrative felt repetitive. Transporter 3, released in 2008, was another misstep in the franchise. With Jason Statham back as Frank Martin, the film's twist, an explosive device strapped to his arm, failed to deliver the high-stakes tension it promised. The shaky camera work and rapid editing made even the most intense action sequences feel unclear and chaotic. But not all hope is lost. Transporter 2, released in 2005, is still widely regarded as one of the best action films of the 2000s. With Jason Statham reprising his role as Frank Martin, the film delivers an exhilarating dose of energy and intensity in its chase sequences and martial arts brawls. The fight scenes are expertly choreographed, with Frank employing a steel rod and a fire hose to subdue his adversaries. Of course, no discussion of the Transporter franchise would be complete without mentioning its television adaptation. The Transporter TV show, which aired on TNT, offered a fresh perspective on the franchise's narrative universe. With Chris Vance taking on the lead role of Frank Martin, the show demonstrated a keen awareness of its budget constraints, opting for more restrained action sequences rather than relying on excessive CGI. So where does the Transporter TV show rank in the overall franchise? It's positioned in the mid-tier, surpassing both Transporter Refuel and Transporter 3, but falling short of the original two films, uh, while Vance does a commendable job portraying Frank Martin, he doesn't quite match up to Jason Statham's iconic performance. In conclusion, the Transporter franchise is a wild ride of action, espionage, and excitement. While not all films are created equal, the series has cemented its place as one of the most iconic action franchises of all time. And remember, if you're still reading this, you must be a fan of action movies. Um, as the great philosopher once said, why did the action hero bring a ladder to the party? Uh, because he heard the drinks were on the house. Um, with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time,